Awesome.
And they say they're ready. I have a lot of I'm ready.
Okay, good stuff. Well, I'm ready to go, Queen. We've got a lot of information to
All
cover
right, so
today.
Doc is ready to give us some great information. So turn off all your distractions
That's
and
right.
just get ready to hear some wonderful news. And let's get started.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's webinar. Thursday night, we're going to make a slight modification to our Thursday night schedule. So let me just back up real quickly. What we had been doing is we had been promoting a advertising platform. Then we started promoting the upcoming Bitcoin platform. And so we were going to do Tuesday night talking about that Bitcoin platform from a presentation standpoint. Thursday night talking about the advertising platform. We did a webinar last week and we said, hey, the advertising platform, we still have full plans on promoting it. However, they're not quite ready for us right now. And many of you have been following us for months, getting ready to get ready. And we got to get you in a position to make some money. I mean, we love the fact that you come on our webinars. We love the fact that you're loyal. But this isn't just a social gathering. This is an economic gathering. We want you to make money. And so what we're going to be, we're really immersing ourselves into the Bitcoin space. I didn't really understand just how big this was until we started trading about a month or so ago. We'll be introducing our trading mentor next Thursday. And let's not confuse our trading mentor with the auto trading platform. Those are two totally separate and distinct people or systems or what have you. What I did want to do real quickly before we get into today's training is just remind you of this great tool. It's called CoinMarketCap.com. Give me a moment. CoinMarketCap.com. I won't be typing much because I'm pecking right now. Let's see, it takes me a whole lot longer. Okay, Coin Market Cap. So make that, I'd go on and save that market cap, and I would go to this every day. I would go to this every single day. There's not a day that goes by that I'm doing business that I'm not at Coin Market Cap. All right, what I was just doing real quickly before we started the webinar is I was taking a look at Ethereum because Ethereum is rapidly closing in on Bitcoin in terms of market cap. Now, what is market cap? Market cap, whether we're talking the stock market or whether we're talking the coin market, okay? Market cap is, let's talk stock market just a moment, give you a nice parallel here. If you take the number of outstanding shares of a particular company, let's call it Apple, okay, and you multiply the number of shares by the current stock price of Apple, you come up with Apple's market cap. As a matter of fact, I meant to do this. Let's go to, let's pull up Apple real quickly. So I want you to see just how much room there is for this cryptocurrency space, okay? All right, so Apple's market cap is $752 billion. All right, I think that's $750 billion if I'm doing that right, okay? All right, so again, the number of shares of Apple, pieces of the stock, shares of the stock, okay, times Apple's stock price gives you the market cap, okay? Now, if we take a look at CoinMarketCap here, Bitcoin is the gold standard, all right? It was the first of these digital currencies. There are now, up at the top, you'll see 754 of these digital currencies with more coming on seemingly every day, okay? Now, Ethereum, however, is catching up to Bitcoin in market cap. Not in price yet, but in market cap. There's a lot more Ethereum coins in the marketplace. All right, there's 92 million compared to 16 million of Bitcoin. And so when you take this 92 million times the current pricing of 362, by the way, I saw Ethereum get down to under the 300s today. It was a great time to buy some Ethereum. It was a great time to buy some Bitcoin because she was at 2,200 or so. But when we see prices pulling back, what most people do is they get scared. They get scared, okay? No, that's when you go in and you want to buy. So I just wanted us to give you that little tidbit that Ethereum is catching up to Bitcoin. And the reason I wanted to show this is because there is still so much growth in this marketplace. Yes, Bitcoin has grown extensively. As a matter of fact, we showed on Tuesday night that if Bitcoin does what it has done the last 7 years, the next 2.5 years, Bitcoin prices would be at about 25,000. Was that right? Or was it $250,000 a coin? All right, let me say that again. If Bitcoin does the next 2.5 years what it's done the last 7 years, meaning stay on its same path of growth, Bitcoin would be $250,000 a coin. Just for Bitcoin would make you a Digi millionaire. All right, if it hits a 250, and all Bitcoin has to do is do what it's been doing the last 7 years. All right, nothing more, nothing less. But Ethereum is catching up, and I would not be surprised if Ethereum has a higher market cap than Bitcoin in just a couple of weeks. So how about you just check that out every day and see where that is. I want to give you a couple tools here while we're here. Let's give you, while we're here, let's go in under historical snapshots. We'll left click on historical snapshots. That was under tools, historical snapshots. All right, and I'm going to scroll down to about this time last year. We're going to go to June the 12th of last year. That's the best correlation we have here. I'm going to left click here. And you'll see that back then Bitcoin's market cap was almost 10 billion. It's now 40 billion. And this is what I want to show you. All right, so right now Ethereum has about 82% of the current market cap of Bitcoin. All right, last year this time Ethereum only represented 64, 344, 560 divided by 9821411507. Ethereum only represented about 12% of the market cap of Bitcoin. So in a year's time, Ethereum now is about 82% of the market cap of Bitcoin. Now, what is that? What does all that stuff mean? What that means is there is tremendous growth happening under our noses, and we have to take advantage of it. If not, we're going to be kicking ourselves. We're going to be, most of people's regrets at the end of their life is not the things they did, it's the things they did not do. So let's make sure that we really immerse ourselves into this industry. Real quickly, again, at coinmarketcap.com, I will always like to stretch your vision. If you go under trending and then gainers and losers, this is going to give you the top gainers for today. Today was actually a down day in the market. This was a great day to buy stuff. And then the market started to turn around later in the day. Now, I don't know some of these coins here, but there's hardly a day that goes by that there isn't a coin, 2 or 3, that's up at least 100% over the last 24 hours, 100% for the day. And again, you got there by going to tools and I think it was tools. No, trending. You came to trending and gainers and losers. All right. And so just take a look at these coins that are up, at least 10% for the day. I own some folding coin in our portfolio. We've got some, let's see if here. I think our trading mentor has some Veracoin. I don't have any of that yet, I don't think. All right, and then let's look at the last 7 days. All right, so here's a coin, don't know anything about it. It's up 413%. Putin coin, is that for, it could be for Vladimir Putin, who knows? They're up 368%. Let's see here. We've got some bit shares in our portfolio. So does our trading mentor. I've got some NXT. Don't think he has that in his trading, in his portfolio. So the small position I have in NXT right now is up 82% for the week. The position I have in bit shares is up 101% for the week. All right, and those are the only 2 that I see here that we have a position in. I thought I saw another one. All right, so in any event, coinmarketcap.com. Make that, just go there, even if you don't fully understand it just yet. When I first got into trading way back in the late 90s, you know, I didn't understand the stock market. I watched CNBC 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Because I was starting to learn, I was wanting to learn how to trade in the stock market. And all that stuff was Greek to me when I first started. But I started hearing the same thing over and over and over again. And I started piecing things together. And so that same thing is going to happen with you as it relates to this marketplace. All right, so let's start with what I wanted to cover. Oh, really quickly, let's see how we've done so far. Let's see if there's, I'll see if there's any maybe trades that we might be able to take. Or, oh, look at here, look at here, look at this. All right, so earlier during the day the market was down, right? You see all these buys that we took early in the day. This is my son's trading account. So all these buy orders, and then later in the day, the market started to turn around, and now we've got a whole bunch of sell orders. All right, so man, that's pretty good. Now some of these, like this one right here, this NXT XMR, that looks like it's one trade. Sometimes when you place an order to buy or sell, let's say you want to buy 100 shares of something, if we were doing a stock market analogy, you want to buy 100 shares at $10 a share as an example, okay? And the price comes down to $10, but just for a moment, and you were able to get 23 of your shares purchased, but you have an order to buy 100. So it's still the same transaction, but you only got 23 of your 100 shares, and then it went up to $10.02, but you have an order that says, I'm only going to buy it for $10. So then it comes back down to 10, and you pick up another 32 shares as an example until your entire order is filled. So on this NXT XMR, this is one transaction here. This game, Bitcoin, game against Bitcoin, that's one transaction. But you can see here today, this is not a part of the auto trading. This is what stuff you're going to ultimately learn from our personal trading mentor, who will introduce next Thursday. Here, take a look at this one real quickly. This is Blackcoin trading against Monero, XMR's Monero. And we got in this trade at 20, let me see, is that the one I wanted to show? No, it's this one. It's this one. We got in at 1733. That was the time. I think they do GMT. And we were out of that trade 4 minutes later. Isn't that cool? 4% gross return, about 3.5 to 3.7% net. And as soon as we knew we were out of that, we went back and we placed an order to buy again at the original buy price, and we got right back in right here at 1739. And we were in that for less than 3 hours, and we sold right here, and we've placed another buy order. So if it gets back down to that buy price, we'll buy it again. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got to tell you, this is so liberating. I love network marketing, but it's liberating to know that if everything that we were promoting went away, that I could make a living doing this right here, trading this, okay? And that's where we want to get you to. All right, that's where we want to get you to. Okay, there's something I forgot, so bear with me. Something I forgot to pull up. Ouch. Oh, that hurts. Okay, all right. So real quickly, let's just cover our 5-step millionaire game plan. All right, number one, we want to participate in the auto trade platform. It looks like that's going to pre-launch next week. About 30 days after that, it should go into full launch. We believe this is going to be the fastest way for people to start realizing profits from the Bitcoin space. There are some auto trading platforms out there, supposed platforms. Any auto trading platform that does not show you real proof of trading, I would be suspect. Okay? I just showed you real proof of trading, and notice I did it without showing anything that is too personal. You don't see a name here. You don't see an account number. You don't see balances. Now, I could show you balances, but I'm not going to do that on screen. All right, but you can see here that we bought. Matter of fact, If I click there, you'll see all of the transactions on this one coin pair, trading black coin against Monero, XMR is Monero. And you can see all the buys and the sells and the buys and the sells and the buys and the sells and the buys and the sells. The reason that we are promoting this particular platform is the vow that the leadership and the ownership has made that they will show real proof of trading, not only just screenshots, but they're saying that they will go behind the scenes on a weekly basis behind one or more of their accounts to show, hey, we really are trading. Okay, so that's number one in our game plan. Number two is to help you build a network of auto traders. There's a phenomenal compensation system. We've seen this model before, this model that the auto trade system is employing. We saw this generate millions of dollars in commissions for our audience. There was a young lady who has followed us for years. And back then when we were promoting that particular offer, we didn't know what we know now about traffic generation and what have you. We didn't have any systems for our folks. We just did live webinars and some YouTubes and what have you. Still built a team of 250,000 folks around the globe in 17 months. Not bad. Young lady was on our team, and she's followed us for years. And she's as loyal as they come, just can't recruit, can't sponsor, it's just been a tough time for her. There's been one dude that would follow her in virtually anything that she was in, and that was about the extent of her recruitment activity. So if it was ABC, she joined, he joined her. If it was DEF, she joined, he joined her. All right, so she recruited this one dude. That dude recruited no one, okay? So she didn't recruit anybody other than the one dude. The one dude recruited no one. A year into that enterprise, she was making in profits, pulling out on a weekly basis about $1,000 a week or $4,000 a month. That's how powerful this compensation plan is. Because remember, you're going to be compensated not only when someone makes an initial deposit, you'll also be compensated as they make any additional new deposits as well as reinvestments back into the system. Now, I don't have all the details. We'll have those details once we go into pre-launch. Personal trading, we're going to bring our personal trading mentor to our following on next week. You will have to have CRB in order to access his trading site. So we'll introduce him to our entire audience on next week. All right? I'm not going to say his name next week. So that way you're not going to be able to go and Facebook him or anything like that. He is our Digi mentor. That's all you'll hear me say on next week. Assuming his site is ready, that site will only be able to be accessed if you are a CRB member. Reason being is there's a limit to the number of people that he's willing to take on to teach them how he trades. Part of that is because there's a lot of personal information that he does show. You're going to see his exact portfolio, okay? I've shown you some screenshots, but you don't know exactly what's in that portfolio. You're going to see his exact portfolio. When he's doing his training and he's showing certain things, you see his account. And obviously, he wants to keep that very close. He wants to keep that to a limited number, one. Number two, he also wants to make sure that he can provide support. This guy, he lives and eats and breathes this stuff. And he runs a chat group for those that are in his system. And he's very, very active in that chat group. So he wants to make sure that he can provide stellar customer service. All right, so we're going to introduce him next week to everyone, but you're going to want to have CRB. I'll make sure that if you don't have CRB, that you know how to get CRB tonight so you can be in line. Once he hits that cap, he's telling me he's not taking any more, okay? Number 4, diversify into other credible Bitcoin offers. We'll talk about that later on. And then developing a coin portfolio. We showed on on Tuesday night, one of our trading mentors' portfolios that had gained over $85,000 in profits in a week's time. But that's because he's got a coin portfolio. Yes, he trades in and out, but he's also building a coin portfolio. So our game plan, yes, while a lot of it will center around the auto trade platform. That is not all of our game plan, and it's likely that you're not going to hear that type of messaging outside of our following. So you, whether you're part of our enrollment team or not, some of you may have already been involved in the mother company, AdsCash. Whether you're in our enrollment team or not, follow us very intimately, and the most intimate way to follow us is being a part of our marketing and training portal, CRB. Okay, so now let's go to work. I want to make sure that everyone is understanding why we've been promoting AdsCash. Okay, AdsCash is the mother company of the trading system. The CEO of AdsCash is the guy who's bringing the trading platform. So basically, AdsCash will be spawning off a new company. I know the name. I've been told I can't share the name just yet, and I don't want to betray his trust. Nick Johnson is the CEO. Now, I wanted to address something real quickly. I did not intend to do this with our entire audience. I was just going to do this on an as-needs basis, but I feel compelled that I need to do this. And the reason is, if you were to go to YouTube and you were to put in AdsCash, the very first video you're going to see is going to be this video that says AdsCash basically is a scam. Now, I need us to understand something that happens a lot in marketing, okay? First off, negative headlines get more attention, get more open rates than positive headlines. Just like negative news, something that's in the news that's negative or considered to be controversial, will always, I won't say always, will typically outperform something that's positive. So if something happens that's negative, all right, you'll hear that all the time, and it goes really fast. But then, you know, something that's positive and uplifting typically does not get near the response. All right, so I've had a few of you and some of you that are growing some teams that saw this and you were concerned about this and wanted to get my take. So I watched the video, all right? Here's one thing you need to be mindful of. You have a lot of marketers out there that position themselves as if they are doing, look at what he says, trusted IM reviews, as if they're doing an honest, objective review of whatever. I know of a guy that what he does, anything that's hot, and he knows about SEO, search engine optimization, he'll put together a site, he'll put together a review site, it's like a blog, where it looks like he's reviewing this particular offer, okay? And he talks about the product and the service and you know, whatever he can ascertain from the offer, you know, he'll put it in the blog post. And almost every time the conclusion is that, well, while they say this, it probably isn't going to work because of this. If you want to see what I'm doing, click here. So all his review sites are really designed to get people to join him in whatever his primary offer happens to be. So you've got to always be mindful of that, especially when you see here, there's a link. I wonder why there's a link. Because in the review, he's saying it's a scam. All right, he never really gives any substance. Well, why do you think this is a scam? All right. He says AdsCash is a coin and it's a virtual coin. Well, all of these are virtual coins. It's not real. Well, all of this is virtual. There's 754 virtual currencies. None of these are you going to touch physically. Okay. Now he does bring up the fact that Nick is the CEO of a company called, or a system called, Click Intensity. And so what he says here is that Nick stole 150,000 or whatever he said here, okay? And so he's saying that Nick Johnson, who is the CEO of AdsCash, CEO of Click Intensity, AdsCash is a scam because he ran away with Click Intensity. Well, let's see this. Let's put in Click Intensity. Oh, I was hoping I already had it in here, so I wouldn't have to type it. All right. Well, will you look at that? Looks like the site is up. Doesn't look like he ran away. Looks like the site is up. Okay. Let's do something else. Let's go over here to Facebook, because the thing that Nick does with Ads Cash, every email he sends out, he's got his name. He's got addresses of some of the offices that they have. Now, my question is this. If this guy is a crook, why would he put his name on Ads Cash if he was a crook with click intensity? By the way, let's take a look here in Ads Cash. Let me scroll all the way down. Whoops. And you see down here it says Ads Cash powered by click intensity. Now, what do you think a lot of people are going to do? If they see that Ads Cash is powered by click intensity, all right, they're going to probably want to go and check out click intensity. And so if he robbed people on click intensity, it probably show up, right? Okay. The fact that he's showing that it's powered by click intensity tells me that this guy's not running, not hiding. Now, did click intensity have some problems? Yes. Have I had a conversation, a Facebook conversation with Nick about that? Yes. What has he revealed to me? Well, he's revealed to me that he had some problems with the payment processors, namely Payza and PayPal, and they held up funds. Now, I've been on the admin side. I've been a part owner of a network marketing company from 2006 to 2008. We had a big shindig. Our first big offline event, we had a great wellness product. Our first big offline event, and we had a few merchant account providers there. One of the merchant account providers we had a $100,000 limit. So we could charge per month $100,000 on that particular MasterCard or Visa. There was a gentleman, one of the owners, who took care of that kind of stuff. And so while we were at the offline event, orders were flying through. Quickly, we hit the 100,000, went over by about $5,000. The guy who was over that saw that and said, oh, I got to swap out. I've got to put in the other merchant account, which he did. All right, that was a weekend event. By Thursday, we get a certified letter saying that our merchant account had been shut down. And not only had they shut it down because we went over by $5,000, okay? I feel a kind of way about that. Not only did they shut down our merchant account, they held the $105,000 for 6 months. Now, we had to pay commissions. And thankfully, we pulled from other resources to pay those commissions. But had we not had those other resources to pay those commissions, guess what would have happened? People wouldn't have been paid. And then they would have been saying that I was a scam. Now, hopefully you've come to enough of our webinars. Hopefully you've followed us long enough to have captured our spirit. If you think I'm a scam, then you probably wouldn't be here. All right. This is what happened from what Nick tells me to click intensity. But he said, you know what? We're not stopping. We're going to relaunch click intensity. So here's what I would recommend you do if you had some concerns about that. And I do have a video. I should have had that up. Let me see. Do I have that? Bear with me. I shot a video earlier today. No, I have to grab that. Somebody remind me to get that video before we end the training. Okay. Here's what I'd have you to do. How about you go over, if you're concerned about that, go over to Facebook and look up Nick Johnson. This is him right here. Okay. Go over to Facebook, look up Nick Johnson, and check this out. All right. This is the video that he just did here, that he just posted less than a day ago, less than 24 hours ago. He's basically talking about the trading system. But notice this. He says he's the CEO of Ads Cash and Click Intensity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if the guy wants to screw us, if the guy wants to scam us, why on earth, if he scammed people from Click Intensity, why on earth would he put Click Intensity here? Now, I respect this guy because he's not hiding. I had a couple years ago, very high profile in promoting a company called Zeke Rewards, and they didn't dot all the I's, didn't cross all the T's. got shut down. There was a receiver that was assigned to them, came and seized $800+ million of Zeek Rewards assets. Because of my high-profile way of promoting, i.e. Live webinars and sending out recorded webinars and YouTube and what have you, there were a couple bloggers who, attacked me. All right? Boy, did they attack. Boy, did they attack. Okay? One of the bloggers, I was in the airport, and my wife and I, we were headed to Chile. And someone sent me something that the blogger had said about me. And I mean, it was nasty. It was absolutely nasty. I wrote on his blog, hey, listen, you're talking about me as if you know me. We've never met. I would be more than happy to have a phone conference with you. Better yet, why don't we do a webinar? You come on to my webinar. I'll have folks there. You can have your folks there. We can both record it. And you can ask me whatever it is you want to ask me. 10 minutes later, the blogger deleted my blog post. Well, that's all I needed to know about that particular blogger. Okay. Someone sends me about a year ago. So this Zeek Rewards, unfortunately, when they shut things down, because we were very high profile, we actually have been in a lawsuit with the receiver. All right, he wants us to pay back every dime that we made. Never mind the fact that we busted our butt for 17 months and we did everything right on our end. It's not our fault that the company shut down. No different than Enron. All right, do you go back and you all the money that was lost because the CEO of Enron did some unscrupulous things, do you go back and take away everybody's paycheck? You guys might remember Enron. That was way back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Okay, no, you don't do that. So in any event, this blogger has said so many hateful things that are not true, but hey, that's the thing on the internet. You can say anything you want to about anyone. It doesn't have to be true. It could maybe perhaps take on a life of its own. One of the latest things, it's been a while, but one of the latest things that they sent, they said something about that I had stiffed my attorney. I was like, what is he talking about? They mentioned an attorney firm that they said I had a bill for $5,000 and I had refused to pay it. Well, guess what? I don't even know who those attorneys are. I don't know what they're talking about. I never had that attorney. Well, where did they come up with that one from? So my whole point is, negative news travels fast. What a lot of marketers do is they want to get in front of traffic. So a lot of marketers are going to say something about a scam or what have you so that they can get in front of traffic. So this person has had 8,400 people view his site. At the end of the video, he says, go to this site, and he's got the site right here. Hey, here's how I'm making 5 figures or whatever or what have you. He's using this to pitch his deal, okay? If you're concerned about Nick, hey, go over to his Facebook page. This is his personal Facebook page here, all right? You'll see, here's his photos, and here's the guy on the video. Looks like the same guy to me. And you'll see on here that he talked a little bit about Ads Cash. Here he's talking about the Ads Cash coin circulation. Down here, he talks about more Ads Cash. Down here, he's talking about the trading platform that's about to launch. Probably learned something from the click intensity, which is why one of the reasons why everything that's coming into the system, both Ads Cash and the trading system, will be Bitcoin, so you don't have to deal with those merchant account issues. Okay. Here he's talking about click intensity. Doesn't look like he's run away from that. He's talking about click intensity here. He's talking about massive announcement for click intensity family. CI withdrawals are live now. Now, I'm not in click intensity, so I don't know what all this stuff means. All right. What I do know is, doesn't look like he's running from it. It would have been very easy. It would have been very easy for him to put a face on the trading platform, for his name not to even be associated with it, and certainly not to tie his involvement with click intensity. I've got tremendous respect for this dude. I've got tremendous respect because he didn't run. He ran into some issues, but he didn't run. All right? I respect the heck out of that. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that those of you that had heard anything that may have been negative, that you understand that, and I promise you, once this system launches, once the trading platform launches. I already know one particular blogger who's going to jump all on it. All right. If he happens to hear my voice, he's going to call me a Ponzi pimp and all this other stuff. Those bloggers tend to do that so they get traffic. They charge. They'll either have advertising on their site where people are doing banner ads, or they'll have something like Google Ad Network, where the more traffic they get to their site, the more they're able to monetize that. So it's very rare that bloggers like that are actually going to put up anything positive. Normally, it's going to have a negative slant so that they get more traffic and they earn more money. I don't think it's to me, that's not an integrous way to do business, but that's what they choose to do. That's them. That's not us. Okay. All right. This is first thing I saw. The dude's not running from click intensity at all. Wow. Okay. Enough on that, I think. Let me see what else we were covering. Bear with me. Let me look at my notes. Okay. All right. So let's talk about our trading mentor real quickly. Not to be confused. I'm going to do this and see if we can. I'm going to do this and trade at the same time. How about that? Only because I want to place some buy orders. All right. So here is a pair that we close out today for profits. I want to go back in and buy this again. All right. So our trading mentor, we're going to have him on next week. This time next Thursday. Now, again, there's a limited number of folks that he is going to allow into his system. Give me a moment here. And I want to make sure for those of you that want to be a part of his system. So let's give you the pricing on that so you know. His system, standalone from us, but connected, meaning you won't even get to his system unless you're in CRB. And I'll tell you again why in just a few moments. All right, his system is going to be $100 a month, payable in Bitcoin. Okay, $100 a month, payable in Bitcoin. All right, so I'm going to make sure that you can get your Bitcoin wallets set up. Now, he's got his limit of the number of folks that he feels like he can accommodate is 300. I don't know what his numbers are. He had some people before he had his site. All right, so he referred a few people, and they referred a few people, so on and so forth. All right, but he's developing a site that will house all of his trainings in bite-sized pieces. What he does is he does live webinars. I know he does a couple of them a week. I jump on the one on Mondays, and it normally is anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. It is a lot of content. If you're new to this, it's a lot of content. So he's doing the site so he can break down that content, excuse me, in bite-sized pieces. Give me a moment. Placing an order to buy here. So he can break that down in bite-sized pieces. Now, you're going to learn a lot more than just trading. Okay, you're going to learn so many things that I'm not even close to being able to teach you. Now, I believe I could teach you the trading style, what we're doing and what have you. But there's so much more that he brings to the table than just the trading, i.e., where do you store your Bitcoins? We're talking about you becoming a Digi millionaire, all right? Where's that going to be housed? Do you want to keep that in Coinbase? Heavens no. You want to be able to store that away from potential hackers, because that's one of the, even though the Bitcoin network, they say it's unhackable. I don't know that anything is unhackable, but they say it's pretty much unhackable. You could have your Bitcoin stored on a site that's hackable. So you need to learn stuff like that, and I'm just learning. So I'm not the person to teach you that. We need to have him to do that. There's somebody sent something to me today about a marketing company that has their own coin. And one of the things that he showed, this is a network marketing company that has their own coin. Well, one of the things that he showed told us about that marketing company a few weeks ago, but he didn't do it from the network marketing angle. He did it from an angle where you could actually earn that company's coin without you paying anything, where you basically use your computer to earn coins. He probably earns about 45 to 60 coins a day with that particular model. It's got a network marketing component to it, but that's not what his focus was. His focus was on building his coin portfolio for free. Those are the types of things that he's going to be able to share with you that I'm learning. I'm a student just like you, okay? And I had a conversation with him last week. Ladies and gentlemen, now understand this comes from, I used to sell $5,000 stock market workshops, $5,000 to $10,000 stock market workshops back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So when I see this kind of stuff, the value that I associate with it is a lot more than maybe what the average person would associate with it. $100 a month, to me, if he was charging $4.99 a month, $500 a month, it would not be too much. That would probably be more in line with the type of pricing that he really could. He could easily turn this into a high-ticket product, a $5,000 product. Well, you pay $5,000 either one time or $5,000 for the year. He's chosen to do $100 a month, all right, payable in Bitcoin. It is worth every single Bitcoin, okay? Now, we are limiting it to just CRB because there's a limit to the number of folks that he's going to allow. And so what we wanted to do is provide value, continued value, exceptional value for our CRB members. So we will introduce him to everyone next week that's in our list, all right? But the only ones that will actually be able to go in and get his service, because we're not going to mention his name and we're not going to give his link out, will be those that are CRBers, so that those of you that have committed the most to us, all right, in the form of a little $30 a month membership with far more value than the $30 a month. That's why we're limiting that, because he's limiting his membership. All right, so let's do a couple of things. At the end, I'll make sure you know how to get associated with CRB if you're not already associated with CRB. Let's make sure that you know how to set up your Bitcoin wallet. Give me just a moment. Now, what you saw me do a few moments ago on screen is you saw me place a trade to buy. See, we sold this. I want to buy it back, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing here. And that way, oh, wow. Boy, that was a heck of a return. Hold on. When did we buy that? Oh, you know what happened? Wow, kick butt. You know what happened? We bought this back on June the 6th. And normally I go on and I immediately place a sell order. And it looks like I must have gotten distracted and I didn't place my sell order, which I'm fine with because I don't mind just accumulating this. And so earlier today, when I saw, oh, I didn't place a sell order. Well, the price had gone up significantly. So let's see what type of return we got on this one. Normally we're looking at a 4% gross. So let's see here. We got 0.0038067 minus. So we bought at this price and we sold at this price here. So let's see what our return was. Oh, that was a good one. 157.170. I'll go with my highest price. So we made, ooh. Man, we got 147% return on that trade. Right here, because we forgot. We forgot to place a sell order. That's cool. All right. This right here, this trade right here, okay? So we had bought here and sold here and gotten our 4% profit. We bought here, forgot about it, forgot to place our sell order, came back and saw, oh, we're way up. Let's go on and sell some of this. So we sold, got 147% return on that one trade, but we still kept some of that position because we're building a position with that one. All right, 147%. Not bad. And let's see, we bought last on the 8th. In a week's time, ladies and gentlemen, this coin, relative to another one, was up 147% in a week's time. And I did not know how to do this. I knew how to trade, but I knew nothing about trading in the Bitcoin space before Uncle Roo, thank you, sir, got us in touch with our Digi trading mentor. So for $100 a month, here I just had a trade that was 147% on the trade. And it's all relative. So maybe you're not starting off with a ton of money, but what happens in time when you are trading $10,000 and then $50,000 and then $100,000? Now that wouldn't have been $100,000 in that one trade. That would have been a small part of your portfolio, but still, whatever that part of your portfolio, if it was $100 or $500 in that trade, 147%. Okay. All right, so let's make sure you know how to set up your, I'll leave that. Where'd you go? Let's make sure you know how to set up your, what we call Bitcoin wallet. So I'm going to put this URL in your chat box. I'm also going to post it in case you can't see the chat box. All right, so I'm going to post it right here. Okay, buybtc.weebly.com. I've got nothing to do with this site. It's a great blog site that gives a lot of information on where you can go to start setting up your wallet. Okay, so let's go there real quickly. I'm drinking my cherry juice, Queen, so that I can sleep well tonight like I did last night because I got no sleep on Tuesday night. All right. Okay. By the way, for those of you that have some emails, some Skype, some Facebook, some, I think all of our tickets are cleared out with CRB. But if you have some emails into us, they are delayed because I can only type with one hand right now. And I started to go in today to try to answer as many as I could, and I was just pecking with one hand. It got frustrating, so I decided to cut some videos since I didn't have to peck. So we'll get to those as soon as we possibly can. So just bear with us. Okay. All right. So buybtc.weebly.com. All right. Now, if you are in the U.S., and we're going to go to this site here, it's not that you want to build a ton of or keep a lot of your Digi assets in this particular wallet, but it's probably one of the easiest to set up, and that is Coinbase.com. Okay, Coinbase.com. We're going to go there real quickly. Coinbase.com. All right. They even have a little bit about, if you're new to Bitcoin, you can click here. And it talks about how to set up your wallet, how simple it is. Now, here's something that's very interesting. When you click, so you came to Coinbase.com and you clicked on where it says new to Bitcoin. If you come down here, it says see all supported countries. If you left click there, this is going to tell you all the countries that Coinbase supports and what you can do in that country. So if you're in Singapore, for instance, you can buy Bitcoin through Coinbase. You can sell Bitcoin. Now, if you're newer to this whole Digi niche, you'll hear things like a Bitcoin is, let's see how much it's going for now. You'll hear things like Bitcoin is going for $2,421 a coin. And you're saying, well, gosh, I don't have $2,421. Well, you don't have to buy a full coin, okay? With most of these exchanges or most of these wallets, let's say if you were using US dollars as your currency, you could say, I want to buy $100 worth or $500 worth or $466.23 worth. And it will then compute what that means in terms of Bitcoin based on the prevailing Bitcoin prices, okay? All right, so let's go back. I can get rid of Nick here. Get rid of Apple here. All right, so this will show you if you're in Australia, you can buy, but you can't sell. Darn, okay? If you're in Europe, if you're in Austria, you can buy and sell. And can you connect your bank account to it or a credit card or what have you? All right, so many of you will see that Coinbase will support a decent number of our audience. Won't necessarily support all of our audience. Like for instance, in Canada, you can buy, but it doesn't look like you can sell, okay? In the US, you can buy and you can sell. And I had not seen this before. By the way, I no longer have a Coinbase account only because when I first set up Coinbase, I was in the US, then I moved outside of the US, and Coinbase is a little finicky. And I forgot a password, or I forgot something. All right, and so I no longer have a Coinbase account. So unfortunately, I can't just log in. I was not aware that they had a PayPal option there. If anybody has used Coinbase and if you've used the PayPal option, I'd love for you to put something in the questions box screen. Be on the lookout, see if someone has done that. Okay. What I do know about Coinbase, before I had my personal problems with them, though, again, that was because I moved out of the country and the new IP, and then I was so new to this entire space that I just didn't know what I didn't know. But while I was using it, it was very simple. I tied my checking account to it. It was not that difficult. It was not that dissimilar than having a PayPal account, where you open up your PayPal account for free. You provide some ID documentation, excuse me, and then you tie, let's say, like your checking account to it. And so the way it would work is once you tied your checking account and you verified, you could go in and you could say, oh, I want to buy some Bitcoin. So today, Bitcoin dropped down to like 2,200 or something per coin. Well, a couple of days ago, it was approaching 3,000 a coin. So this was a great day to buy as it got down to 2,200. So if you had some available cash, you could have said, oh, man, I want to buy some Bitcoin right now. All right. And it would have locked in whatever the prevailing price was, even though it may take a couple, 3 days for it to transfer from your bank account, your cash into Coinbase. You still would have locked in whatever that pricing happens to be. Likewise, you can use Coinbase to sell. So let's say that you get some Digi profits let's say you got some Bitcoin profits, or you want to convert from Bitcoin back into your currency. You can do that very easily with Coinbase as well. You would simply sell essentially to Coinbase. Yes, Queen.
What did you want to know about the PayPal option with Coinbase?
Well, given that I don't have a Coinbase account because of what I told you about, I didn't know that there was a PayPal option. Have you used that, or do you know anyone who?
I have never used it, no, but they do have a PayPal option, and it's the PayPal account. Digital currency can be sold into this account. Your PayPal information needs to match the information you've given to Coinbase.
Okay. So for now, Coinbase is not where you're going to store a bunch of coins, but you're not going to store a bunch of coins in any of these types of systems. And you'll learn that from our trading mentor. He's going to share with you, how you could build millions of dollars worth of Digi assets, but keep it away from the hackers. You can store it offline and what have you. Okay. So Coinbase is a great place to go to get set up to tie your checking account to it if you're in a country that allows you to do so. So I would suggest, particularly if you're in the U.S., that you start off with Coinbase. All right. Now there's a difference, in my view, between you'll hear people talk about wallets. All right. Well, what Coinbase allows you to do, if you're in one of the countries that it supports, is it allows you to tie your checking account to it. So it makes it very easy to, I want to buy Bitcoin from my checking account. I want to sell Bitcoin that I have so that it comes into my checking account. Makes that very, very easy. There are other wallets where you can store Bitcoin, but don't necessarily tie to a checking account or what have you. Where essentially, if you had some Bitcoin profits, let's say you're in the trading system and you want to withdraw some of your profits, you want to take it out of the trading system, then you can send it to a number of other wallets. One of the big wallets out there, now keep in mind, this will not tie to your checking account. One of the big wallets out there that people use is blockchain.info. Let's see. This one right here. Blockchain.info. Okay. All of these you set up for free. Just be mindful that you're not going to tie your checking account to something like blockchain. Think of blockchain as a small bank for your Bitcoin, but you don't, with any of these, you're not going to want to have too much Bitcoin in any of these. And again, you'll hear our trading mentor talk a lot more about that in terms of storage, how you want to store your Bitcoin. So blockchain is a great place to be able to send and receive Bitcoin, but you're not going to use blockchain to convert cash into Bitcoin or to convert Bitcoin back into cash. Coinbase will allow you to convert cash into Bitcoin and Bitcoin back into cash. Okay? Now, on this site, you'll also have some recommendations for different countries. So, for instance, I've been told that Uphold is a really good option, maybe even for U.S. folks and Canadians. Is Brian Fussy on here? Brian, I know you're really big into the Bitcoin space, and I know you're from Canada. Brian, if there are some ones out of Canada that you really like, let us know in the questions box. Queen, would you be on the lookout for that in case Brian is here?
I don't see Brian.
Okay. Yeah, Janine, I know that our mentor has Gemini. I don't know if it ties to your checking account or not. I know he uses Gemini. It does? Okay. Gemini. Is that GEMNI.com or .o? Do you know? Let me see. Okay, got you. You're using all that tech slang. I don't know what all that stuff means. My kids would. I don't know. Gemini. Let's see if we can find Gemini. Looks like it's a .com. Okay, so someone was saying Gemini. I know our trading mentor uses Gemini, but he hasn't, not on any of the webinars I've been on, has he really talked much about it. I've just seen it in his portfolio. So next generation digital asset platform built for businesses and investors. Oh, I like that. Buy, sell, and store both Bitcoin and Ether. When you hear Ether, that means Ethereum, with superior trading features, security, and regulatory oversight. Okay. All right. And Janine is saying that you can tie your checking account to it. All right. Give me a moment. Okay. All right, so those they're saying this is a U.S.-based one, exchange. I know. I think you're limited in what you can trade in here. So you might want to do this more just to be able to connect and have a wallet, but don't look at this necessarily as a trading platform. Looks like you can trade Bitcoin against the U.S. dollar, Ethereum against the US dollar, Ethereum against Bitcoin. Looks like that's it. Okay. All right. So listen, if you're in another country, just go through the list, and you may have to do a little research here. Where's my list? All right. So you might have to go through a few of these, but listen, don't go on and set up your wallet and go on and start getting funds, whatever your currency happens to be, in there so that you now have some Bitcoin, okay? Now I'm going to give you another one real quickly to consider as well. This one is a peer-to-peer one. I don't know if it shows up here. Localbitcoins.com is, I don't see it here, but localbitcoins.com. Now what happens here is you will have people that have Bitcoins that are willing to sell them so that you can buy them from them, all right? A lot of times there will be a small premium there, local Bitcoins. But if you're trying to get Bitcoins like really quickly, it's like for instance today when Bitcoin had a really big drop pretty quickly down to the $2,200 range, you might say, oh man, you know, let me go in and buy some Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a full Bitcoin, okay? And so with local Bitcoins, you can go in and you can see people that are willing to sell you Bitcoins and what they're selling it for. And in some cases, there's a number of ways that you can buy it. So for instance, somebody will basically place an ad saying, I've got so many Bitcoins I'm willing to sell, let's say $500 worth, $1,000 worth, $2,000 worth. Here's the price at which I'm willing to sell it. And here's how you can buy that Bitcoin from me. In some cases, it might be where you simply go to their bank account. They give you their banking details and you make a deposit. The great thing about local Bitcoins is they have an escrow system. So let's say that you were buying Bitcoin from somebody, okay? Because you're going through local Bitcoins, the seller of the Bitcoin is going to have the amount that they're selling to you placed in an escrow account, okay? So if they're selling you $500 worth of Bitcoins, that $500 is going to be taken out of their account and placed into an escrow account that local Bitcoins oversees. Then, once you make the deposit, let's say if you're making a deposit into their actual checking or savings account, you'll go to the bank, you make the deposit with cash, you'll get the receipt, you'll load up the receipt so that they will see it, and then they will then release the Bitcoins right into your local Bitcoin wallet. So when you set up a local Bitcoin account, you are setting up a wallet, howbeit you can't transfer, it does not connect to your checking account. That's what you need to know. But it's a great place for you to either buy or to sell Bitcoins quickly. So conversely, you could have Bitcoins and you want to convert it into cash and you need to do it quickly, okay? Well, you can go on and you can sell your Bitcoins. You'll find a buyer, all right? They're willing to buy Bitcoins from you. And you basically tell them how you want them to buy it. You want them to make a deposit into your checking account. I would caution you about doing anything with PayPal because they can always come back and do a dispute. So don't sell Bitcoin via PayPal. Do not sell Bitcoin via PayPal. Our trading mentor has a story to tell you about on that one. He sold via PayPal, and then the people came back and did a dispute, and he basically lost that Bitcoin. So you might buy using PayPal, especially if you're going through Coindesk, but Coinbase. But if you're going on something like local Bitcoins, do not sell your Bitcoins to someone and get PayPal funds in return, because they can always go back and do a dispute, and that could cause you a headache, okay? All right, so let's see. I think we might be trading mentor. Okay. All right, let me. There was something I don't think that I hit on the way I meant to. I want to go back to Ads Cash real quickly. All right, so everybody should have this site. Going to make a note of it if you don't have it in your chat box. buybtc.weebly.com. buybtc.weebly.com. Okay. I want to go back real quickly to Ads Cash. I thought I had made this clear, but maybe I didn't, or maybe some folks just didn't go through the content, which it could be a combination of both. Who knows? Okay. The reason we're promoting Ads Cash is not really for Ads Cash. We're promoting Ads Cash for the trading system. Okay. Somebody was reaching out and they were going to make a decent sized purchase of Ads Cash coins, and I said, "Oh, stop! No, that's not why we're promoting Ads Cash. We're promoting Ads Cash because Ads Cash is launching the trading platform, and we were promoting Ads Cash to get people locked into the genealogy, because all of the people that are now in Ads Cash are going to be ported over in the same genealogical structure. You know, John sponsored Mary, Mary sponsored Sharon, Sharon sponsored Raheem, okay, in the same genealogical structure. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to get a leg up from a promotional standpoint and start pre-building essentially our trading team. We wanted to start pre-building our trading team, knowing that if we got people in the Ads Cash, that would start to grow the genealogy, okay? Now, I don't know how Ads Cash is ultimately going to connect with the trading system. I do believe that they will ultimately have some type of synergistic tie. But in my brief discussions, Facebook discussions with Nick, okay, and just be mindful, I've had conversations with Nick, but those conversations really didn't start to come about until I had proven to be a producer. All right, this guy's very busy. He's, looks like he's got 3 or 4 different businesses that he's ahead of, and so what happened was we started moving up the leaders board with personal recruiting and then our team, and I would imagine that got his attention. No different than if I was in his position. I'm getting hit all the time with people on Facebook. Can't answer everyone, but all of a sudden you see somebody who's rising up the leaders bulletin. Okay, I can't address everyone, and it would be great. It would be a perfect world if everyone got the same treatment, but you just don't have enough time in a day. And so you see somebody who's rising up on the bulletin board, and you say, okay, let me address this guy real quickly because I see that he's pushing this thing. And that's kind of what has happened. All right, so I've had quite a bit of back and forth. They're normally very short. I'll ask my question. I may get an answer that day. I may get an answer 3 days from now. All right, so if you go and you friend Nick and you ask him a question and you don't get an answer, don't take that personally. All right, please don't take that personally. Again, it would be great if everybody were treated the same, but there's just not enough. In Ads Cash, there's 400,000+ folks, so there just isn't enough time to go around. All right, so I want you to understand we're promoting Ads Cash just until the the trading platform. We'll see what synergistic tie there will be in time between Ads Cash and the trading platform. So I don't want anyone to feel compelled that you've got to go and buy the Ads Cash coin. Yes, earlier on we said buy 1,000 Ads Cash coin. I think at the time it was going for maybe 4.9 cents a coin, so it was like $50 because we weren't sure when we said that whether or not you needed to have Ads Cash to be in the trading system. So I wasn't sure if you needed to buy Ads Cash and Ads Cash was your entry into the trading system. Nick said no. Once the pre-launch starts, even though Ads Cash is the company behind it, the trading system will stand on its own merits, okay? So I want to make sure that we're clear on that. We were promoting AdsCash so that we could pre-build before the pre-launch. So the pre-launch should be starting hopefully sometime next week. What he said to me, what he has also said on his Facebook page is, well, what he said to me was they were ready to go. They could have flipped the switch. But the problem is with so many people in AdsCash, you got to port over 400,000 plus people, and they've been doing stress testing to make sure that the servers can handle it. So what we expect to happen is sometime next week, pre-launch starts. The name of the company will be revealed. All right. He told me, but he said I couldn't say anything. Now, what we are going to do once it launches, we will have both a fan page, a Facebook fan page, and we will have a Facebook group. Now, one of the reasons I want to do a Facebook group for this particular offer, and by the way, the Facebook group's name, you'll know it because I'll send out an email because I'm going to ask everyone to like the fan page. I'm going to ask everyone to join the group. All right. The Facebook group is going to be the name of the company with a hyphen, Digi Millionaires. I can't say the name of the company right now. So that way we'll be easy to find when somebody just goes in and they put in the name of the company. You know, they should also be able to see the name of the company, whatever the name of the company is, hyphen Digi Millionaires. Now, I would like to have maybe 3 to 5 administrators in the Facebook group. I can't be there all day, okay? And there are going to be some days I'm not there at all because I'm in the background cutting content. So if you are someone that you've got some time, you tend to be in Facebook quite a bit, then I want someone that's in CRB, okay? Because that means you really understand our messaging, all right, and where we're headed. If you are willing to be one of those administrators, we want to make sure that people are not spamming, want to make sure people are not divvying out personal enrollment links, want to make sure that people aren't being overly negative. Yeah, we might have an issue here or there. That's fine. Let's deal with it professionally. But no belly achers. I am not dealing with grown people that act like children. I ain't going to put up with it. Life is too short. I'm 46. My hand hurts. I ain't going to put up with it. So, for instance, I don't want anybody going into the AdsCash Facebook group. There's too many belly achers in there. Too many people whining and complaining. People saying stuff like, hey, I can't get my my AdsCash coins. I want my money back. Well, didn't you read the information, by the way? If you haven't, read the information. This gives you the life cycle of the AdsCash, what they're planning for AdsCash right here under presentations. There is a document here talking about the AdsCash life cycle. We haven't really talked much about this because it was never our focus on everybody buying tons and tons and tons of coins. But this right here tells you what their game plan was or is. Their plan is not to go to an exchange until 2018. So if you're buying AdsCash right now, you can't liquidate it. All right. So, you know, but I see in their group just belly achers, and I can't. I have no patience for it. So if you are willing to be one of the administrators, if you would do me a favor and send a support ticket through CRB and say, yes, I would love to be one of the administrators. And all I'm asking is that you're willing to go in and tell me maybe how many days a week you can commit to kind of going in and just making sure that everything is done right. People aren't spamming. People aren't being children. And if people are being children, we will love them, but we will love them the heck out of the room because we're not dealing with that. Okay? All right. So let's see. I think I'm finished. Okay, I think I'm finished. Let me make sure. Fan page. Oh, so when the name of the company launches, we will be sending out um, via email information for you to like the fan page, join the Facebook group, and we'll also have a YouTube channel. We'll ask you to like that YouTube channel. And that way, by liking that YouTube channel, you'll be aware of any YouTube content that we are loading up. Okay, I think that does it. Let me grab this link for any of you that maybe had someone that had heard some negative information about Nick. I did a video earlier today. I sent it out to a few select folks because I know they had come to me, and then I thought, you know what, let me go on and just share this with our entire audience. So just bear with me. Let me go and grab that real quickly. And I'm going to put that in your chat box if anybody happens to come to you with that. Wrong one. And how about, hey, Queen, is there anything that you can think of that I'm missing? Because we're going to get into Q&A. Okay, here's that URL. If anybody happens to say, hey, I saw something on YouTube talking about this thing being a scam, I'm putting it also in your chat box. All right, so you should see crbwebinar.com/Nick-Johnson. And I've also put that in your chat box. All right, Queen. I'm ready for any questions.
Okay. Give me a moment.
Okay. And for those of you who are going to volunteer to help us out with the admin for the group, do me a favor again and send that through a support ticket so that I will see that. If you post it here, I may not see you. And real quickly, so some of the things that we'll be doing in that group is anything that Nick posts, we're going to post in that group. I don't want people going into whatever Facebook group they're going to have. I don't want our people in there because I just, there's going to be a whole bunch of belly achers. If we have issues, we'll deal with the issues. What we're not going to have are adult people that act like kids. And unfortunately, when you have a lot of people, you get all sorts of people. And, we want mature people and not belly achers. And we want to make sure that we don't have people coming in there spamming. We're the multiple streams of income folk, but you have to respect when you go into a group, what is that group talking about? So, no spamming, no personal referral links and all that kind of stuff. So we want to make sure that we've got the right culture in there. We'll be posting content there that you can use to help you in the building of your business. All right, Queen, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, someone wants to... Okay, if you asked a question earlier, you need to come back and ask it again. That's number one. I'm in CRB and I'm in Ad Cash. Can my wife join Ads Cash? And does she have to get her own CRB system to participate in the trading portal?
No, if you're married, you only need one CRB portal. You don't need multiple CRB portals. With Ads Cash, I see nothing that prevents you from having a husband-wife, separate positions or what have you. So that doesn't appear to be any issue with Ads Cash. There's no need for that if you are in CRB. One position per family is all you need.
Can you give us a step-by-step process to set up a Bitcoin account?
Go to Coinbase.com. I mean, really, it's that simple.
And it really is easy. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Because you have to.
Go on, Queen.
No, you just have to. When you sign up, you give them your information, and they'll walk you. They'll. Basically, it's a step by step, and then you connect it to your bank account, and then you're done.
Yeah. So I just went to sign up, and you put in your name, and you put in your email address, and what have you, and you put in, what state you're in. If you happen to be in the U.S., it'll probably, wherever you happen to be. And you see, that's all it asks for is your first name, last name, your email address, your state. Obviously, if you're not in the States, it'll pull from that. I'm not a robot. Create an account. And then everything is really simple. It really is. So I wasn't being facetious when I said go to Coinbase.com. It's that simple. Next question.
Okay. Someone wants to ask a Digi question, and it's about the surveys. They're asking, is anyone able to get qualified to take the survey?
Have you done any surveys this week, Queen?
Yes, I have. I didn't count how many things I went through before I actually got qualified for a survey, but I know that just from experience that sometimes you go through a lot before you actually get qualified. And then once you start getting surveys, basically you've gone through several different qualification steps, and it starts to give you more surveys that you do qualify for, and you don't get the ones that you don't qualify for as much. So the more you do, eventually, the more you'll get this that you just qualify for, so it won't get into a lot of disqualification. That's my experience. And that's kind of what they said too.
Yep. Okay.
Do you get a different address for each Bitcoin transaction, or do you have only one address?
You can use one address. What a lot of people like to do is they like to populate a new address if they're sending Bitcoin somewhere, or even if they're receiving, they like to populate a different Bitcoin address. Because one of the big things about cryptocurrencies is to make it as anonymous as possible. You're not trying to hide from your government from a tax standpoint. It's very clear. We need to make sure that people understand that. But you also don't want all your stuff out there in the public square. And the way that you do business outside of the Bitcoin, so much of that is just out there in the public domain where people can just find out your stuff. So a lot of people will use a different Bitcoin address when they are receiving. And then when you're sending Bitcoin, you'll be sending it to a specific address that the receiver, the person receiving Bitcoin from you, is wanting to receive to. So you can use the same address. Most people like to use different addresses. Next question.
Okay, and also depends on whether or not you have more than one account, and each account will have a different address anyway.
Right.
I mean, if you had local Bitcoins, or if you had Gemini, or if you had Coinbase, you would have a different address for each one of those.
And I know with Coinbase, you can actually go into Coinbase and populate a new address for that specific transaction.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Next
question.
Okay, the new coin. Okay, when you get, I'm guessing the question is, when you get new coins, do you get a wallet for each one? And I'm not sure if there's a hard wallet or if they're just talking about.
Well, what you're going to find is, like, if we were to go, okay, so if we were to go to coinmarketcap.com, be mindful that Bitcoin right now is your primary gateway to any of the other cryptocurrencies. any of the other digital currencies. So for instance, you can't come off the street with US dollars and just go and buy Ripple. You've got to have a Bitcoin wallet, convert your US dollars into Bitcoin, and then you've got to find an exchange where you can actually go and convert from Bitcoin to Ripple or trade Bitcoin against Ripple. So for instance, let's click on here where it says Ripple. Let's say you were interested in Ripple. All right, and then come down here to where it says markets. And this tells you where you can buy and sell Ripple. So on Poloniex, which is what you've been seeing me show, I can trade Ripple XRP against Bitcoin, as an example. If I could go to Bittrex, which is another exchange. All of these right here are exchanges. Okay, so your gateway right now is Bitcoin, and then, so what I'm doing with Poloniex, for instance, is I'm trading. Let's say if I wanted to trade against Bitcoin, maybe I wanted to, let's see something. Nothing. Earlier today, a lot of these were down. They've come back. Let's say, here's a good one. I wanted to trade Augur. Okay, it's down 5.46%. I think it's going to come back. When I click here to trade it, if I have Bitcoin, then I can trade Augur against Bitcoin. So I'm thinking that Augur is going to go up relative to the price of Bitcoin for this period of time. When I make that trade, all right, so when I do a buy like I did here, okay, or a buy like I did here, when I place an order to sell, I'm only selling out of half of my position. So if I bought, stock market analogy, 100 shares, I'm only selling out of 50. I'm retaining the other 50 for future appreciation. All right. Then Queen, if I go and buy another 100 shares, all right, so you see here, I bought and I sold. When I place an order, I'm going to place an order to buy at least another 100 shares. All right, so now I'll have 150 shares, and I'm going to sell half of that position. And so that's what allows you to build a coin portfolio, is once you start setting up exchanges like this. Poloniex is free. All of these exchanges are easy to set up. And Queen, I can tell you, if you were setting up a stock market account, you got to provide all this stuff.
Right.
When you set up one of these accounts, it's like your email address and your password, and I mean, it's so simple to set one of these up. Now, don't go set one up and start trading at this point. You don't know enough unless you've traded before. Okay, so don't just go in and just start buying stuff and selling stuff, and don't do that. Don't do that. Wait for our trading mentor. But that's what's going to be your entry, is something like a Poloniex or Bittrex or some of the other exchanges that he'll recommend to you. Next question.
Okay, well, Carolina wanted to let everybody know that for those folks who are in Canada, you can use Coinbase. She's used Coinbase to transfer coins to, let's say, ASCAsh.
Good. Thank you, Carolina.
Okay.
How's your husband, Carolina? I pray that he's doing better. Thoughts and prayers with you and he. Next question.
Okay. Now, for those who are not ready to go with the Digi mentor at this moment, or they, or there won't be any positions left over for them, is there any future way in which you are thinking about, or that they may be able to learn how to trade?
Yeah, I hadn't quite figured it out yet, but I know we got to figure that out, because those 300 spots are going to be filled quickly, and 6 months from now, 9 months from now, a year from now, people are going to hear that and say, well, shoot, I wish I could have. So we've got to figure that out.
Now for the 300, it's going to be first come, first serve, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, my position is already there, right? I'm just...
So whoever asked that question, I'll get that figured out. what I want to get those spots filled because I know that you're going to be in great hands, and that he can share things with you that I'm still learning. I can't share with you. However, with that being said, as it relates to actually going into the market and trading like this, that's something that I hadn't quite figured out because I got to figure out my time. But there'll be something there. There'll be something there. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but we'll get it figured out.
Okay, is this webinar recorded?
Yes.
And for the person who asked about tax stuff, we don't answer. We're tax questions we don't do. Just so you know. So you have to talk to your accountant or whoever your tax person is.
I will tell you.
Any income is for the United States, any income you have is taxable. So, I mean, it's just a matter of you dealing with your tax person for that.
Queen, it is likely because you know of a person that I went around the U.S. with for, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah.
And so I've asked him some questions as it relates to Bitcoin. If I feel that he's the best person at some point, not right away, later in the year, it might be October-ish, what comes after October? November? No.
Yes.
October, November-ish. I plan to have somebody that will come on that will be someone that we feel like knows Bitcoin-related taxation as well as what I like is somebody who understands cryptocurrency taxation as well as home business taxation. Now, it won't be for every country, I'm sure, because every country has a different way of looking at things. So it might be him because I've been asking him some questions, and I know he's really good when it comes to the home business side. So we'll try to at least provide a resource or two, but I'm not a tax person, and I don't play one on TV.
Larry, send me an email for your question.
I'm curious as to what Larry's question is.
Well, it's just about CRB. So he's my personal. Just send me an email, and I'll make sure you get there. So if we're not buying as cash, are we just funding our wallet?
You don't have to fund your ads cash wallet.
No. I think they're just talking about Bitcoin now. If they're not buying as cash with the funds, should they just be funding their wallet so they're ready?
Yeah, go on and start funding your wallet. And I would fund
now. It's low
because 2 days ago.
I would have tried to grab it while it was 2,000 because it went down to 2,000 this morning. You didn't
go down that low?
Yes, I was like, okay, it's time to buy.
Yeah. See, what most people do is they say, "Oh my gosh, it's going down. It's going to crash." No, that's when you go and buy.
That's what I saw. I was like, what? I said, it's time to buy. Yeah. Everybody should be buying right now.
Yeah.
It did go down to 2,000 this morning. Or it was somewhere in that range. It was under 2,100.
You see, Queen here. Look at all these buys.
Yeah.
See all these buys? That's when the market was down earlier today. And then later on the day, we get all these sales.
Because as a matter of fact, Ethereum was down to like 255.
I saw it at 280. I didn't see it at 255. You saw it at 255.
I think it was down at 255 when I first went on this morning.
Yeah, and so Ethereum now.
And so I was like, oh, wow, this is definitely time to buy because it's going to go back up to 3 whatever.
Yep. So even if you don't trade, if you just have cash sitting around that you don't have to use, now I'm not talking about your bill money, and I'm not talking about, keeping cash for emergencies and whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about cash is just really just kind of sitting and collecting dust. Queen, I would move that at least into Bitcoin and or Ethereum if you know nothing else. Bitcoin, again, if she just does the next 2.5 years, what she's done in the last 7, she would be priced at $250,000 a coin.
Yeah.
Queen, if you have 4 Bitcoins and that happens, you are a Bitcoin millionaire.
Yes.
So our whole game plan, our whole 5-step blueprint is how can we accumulate more digital assets the quickest? And oh, by the way, if you take a look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap, every one of these has outperformed. IOTA is new, so I won't say that one. But all these other ones you see here have outperformed Bitcoin, or at least over the past year, and in some cases by a wide margin. So we keep hearing about Bitcoin, which obviously is the gold standard, but every one of these, NEM is up like, gosh, what is it? 1,000 times or something like that. $1,000 sitting in NEM would have been like 104,000 in a year's time. Hey, Queen, there's another one, Sia Coin.
Oh,
Queen.
okay.
$1,000 in Sia Coin this time last year would be over $200,000 today.
Wow.
So I'm starting to build a position in Sia Coin. Any other questions?
Well, there are more questions, and did you say how long?
Let's give it 5 more minutes.
Okay. What will be the process to register with our Digi Millionaire Mentor?
What will happen is we're going to introduce him next Thursday.
Yes.
I'm hoping that his site is going to be ready. Assuming that his site is ready, then we will post his site in the CRB back office. So you'll go to the affiliate center in the CRB back office, and you'll be able to register for his site. If he tells me the site's not ready, then just as soon as the site is ready, it'll be in the CRB back office. So the webinar will be available for everyone. What I strongly suggest, if you know you want to take one of those positions, if you're not in CRB, get CRB. It's a $1 test drive. It's $30 a month thereafter, and that puts you in CRB so that you can go on and register for his system, assuming that it's up. I should know. I'll know if it's not up by Thursday, and I'll be able to give you a heads up. But go on and get CRB. All right, go on and get CRB. By the way, obviously we are working behind the scenes at putting together the follow-up sequence. Queen, the follow-up sequence is going to be so kick butt. I mean, think about this, Queen. See, I can go here. All right, because we got 5 steps, right? So I can do I can do a training, which I did today. All right, and some of you that were on the webinar on Tuesday, we did this. All right, so one of the posts that we're going to have is I went through and I said, hey, we're going to talk about steps 3 and 5 today. And what I did is I went back and I went through our Digi Mentors, one of his portfolios. This is what we did on Tuesday if you were on the webinar. And we showed it going from 335,000 to 420,000 in a week's time. $85,000 in Digi profits. Queen.
Yes.
That's the subject of one of the email video follow-ups. All right.
Okay. That doesn't tell you that the cryptocurrency thing is on.
Yeah.
Is going on right now. Then.
Yeah. And then we ended up by saying, hey, you're going to see a call to action. Here's our 5 steps again. Participate in the auto trading platform. Build a network of auto traders. You should see a call to action. Click on that call to action. Going to get started with this. See, Queen, I got that one. I got one where we take, we go to CoinMarketCap and we show, we play the what if game. If you had $1,000 this time last year in Bitcoin, it would be worth this. Hey, but what about Ripple? Now I'm not talking about the drink that Fred Sanford drank in Sanford and Son. Ha 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 ha. And I show Ripple, your $1,000 would have been $47,000. I showed NEM, your $1,000 would have been $104,000. Now, This is just part of our 5-step Digi Millionaire game plan. You see a call to action button popping up. Go on, participate in our auto trading. We'll help you build a network of auto traders, get some Bitcoin education, diversify into other offers, and develop a coin portfolio. So, Queen, that follow-up series is gonna be so kick butt. Gosh, so kick butt.
Okay, let me say this because I have quite a few people saying something about the surveys on Divi. If you feel that you are spending like way too much time trying to do surveys and not get, and you haven't been able to you have gotten 0 surveys completed, but you spent time going through, I would send in a support ticket because we don't have the answers to that. We can only tell you what our experiences are. And I have been able to get through some surveys. Not that every time I go on, I immediately get a survey and complete it. But I give myself, I see, Rhonda, that you gave yourself 2 hours per day to do this, and you're still saying that you haven't gotten any. I would send in a support ticket just to say that to Divi, and because we don't have the answers for that. All I can do is say, I set aside enough time. I set aside a certain amount of time each day to do the surveys. If I get a survey, fine. If I don't, I have to move on to the rest of my schedule for the day. So I would send in a support ticket if you're having serious issues of getting surveys completed.
All right. I see in the questions box some people were asking for how do they get connected with CRB. First, go and check with the person that has referred you to our following. See if they have CRB so they can get you their CRB link, because there is a referral side of that as well. If that person is MIA or they don't have CRB or what have you, or they're non-responsive, then send an email to click. You see how slow I'm typing, Queen? Rank?
Yes, I see. It's going to get better. It's going to get better.
But it's not painful. That's good.
I know that, and that's why that's why I know it's going to get better, because the pain is lessening, and when it doesn't feel broke anymore. I've never had gout, but I have talked to folks, and they have told me it feels like they just broke a bone. It's a broken bone in there.
Queen, I was like, maybe I should go. I don't drink, but I was like, maybe I should go and get something and just.
Maybe you should go get that bottle of Ripple. Maybe you should go get that bottle of Ripple.
Maybe I need to go get that Ripple.
Guys, we've been teasing about Ripple because there's a Ripple coin, and then Fred Sanford, back in his junkyard days, he was always talking about Ripple.
Yep.
And
if he did not know
that was a real drink.
If he mixed it with champagne, he had some champipple, remember?
Yes. But you didn't think it was real. Yes, Ripple was very real.
Well, see, when I was watching that, I was a kid, so I didn't know anything about alcohol. I thought that was just part of it.
I've never tasted it. I just know that it was real.
All right, so if you don't have if you don't know who got you to our following, or that person is not in CRB, if you're a CRB orphan, send us an email, clickrankinbank@gmail.com. Put CRB orphan. Be a little patient with us, because I know we've got quite a few people that we need to respond to. But again, we were not. Yesterday, I didn't do nothing. I was being a wuss, Queen.
It is. If I'm in that kind of pain, I will be exactly like you were. Okay, I promise you.
I couldn't concentrate on nothing, and finally, I don't know how many things of the cherry juice I had. I probably had 3 or 4 yesterday, and I was afraid I wasn't gonna be able to go to sleep again. But man, I was out.
Well,
I woke up this morning. I told her, I said, "Babe, I slept through the whole night.
Yes. How about that? Maybe you should. Okay, maybe you should try some shampoo then.
There you go. There's champagne and ripple. I don't
Yeah.
need it now though. I'm fine.
You fine now? Okay. No, somebody that was a suggestion over here.
Oh, okay. Some champagne. I'm finished, Queen. Anything else?
There are plenty, but your time is up.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, listen. Be very attentive to your emails. I'm not sure when pre-launch will start, but if it starts Monday or what have you, then we obviously, if it starts on a day other than Tuesday, if it starts on Monday, we may have a impromptu webinar, making sure everybody's got things up and going on and starting to promote. Those of you that do YouTubes, I strongly recommend that you get prepared to maybe get some YouTube content out there. Maybe go on and start putting it together now. So just as soon as you know the name, you can go on and start ranking for the name and get some YouTube videos out there in the marketplace. And just as soon as we see what the messaging is, we'll also be looking at some other promotional things, some banners and things of that nature. Now, I know some people asked about lead capture pages. I'm not ready for that yet because I'm working on the follow-up sequences. Just to have someone to capture lead, but no robust follow-up system doesn't give the value that we want to be able to bring. So we need to have that follow-up system, and we're still working on that. Obviously, we were delayed a little bit because of the hand issue, but we're getting to that. But we are cutting those videos, and we'll start loading that up. Also, for those of you that are participating in the advertising co-op, so far, Queen, I've not had anybody to take me up on the offer if they wanted to come out of the co-op, because the co-op is now not about the advertising. It's going to be about the trading system. So once again, that we will not turn on that traffic in earnest until the system has actually not pre-launched but launched. I want to make sure that the system is launched, that it's working the way it's supposed to, that we don't have a
paid.
Yeah, and we're getting paid. Yeah. I want to make sure that, yeah. So I want to make sure that all of that is working before we spend your hard-earned advertising dollars for the co-op. Okay, so that's going to be sometime in July, assuming that things launch next week. They're saying about 30 days after that, so it won't start before July, and that's okay because July normally is a tricky month anyway because people are vacationing. So it may not even start really in earnest until maybe August or what have you. But what we want to make sure that it's working so that we're not just burning through your hard-earned advertising dollars. All right. Now, with that being said,
one more thing. One more. Let me just say this to SA. In Coinbase, you must do what it says because it's connecting to your bank account. So you have to upload ID. So if it does, it's not going to let you go past that. You must identify yourself. As you heard Doc say earlier, he left the country and tried to get into his Coinbase, forgot something, and they closed him out.
Okay. They just shut me off.
I'm just saying,
they didn't take my Bitcoin.
It's important for you to identify yourself and maintain your information.
Yeah, what they did, they didn't take my Bitcoin, okay? What happened, Queen, is they gave me a certain date to get it out of their system.
Say, get it out of here because we're not dealing with you because we don't believe you. Exactly. So what I'm saying is Coinbase is very serious about security. So, and I'm seeing that David is saying the same as with that Gemini is the same. So just be aware. We're talking when it attaches to your bank account, you want them to identify it.
Sure.
You want them to identify you. So make sure. Okay, that's it.
Okay. All right. We love each and every one of you. Have a tremendous weekend. Be careful out there. We'll see you on our next scheduled webinar, which is Tuesday night. Who wants to be a Digi millionaire?
Who wants to be a Digi millionaire? Say it in your questions box really quickly. I want to be.
There they go. There they go. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. And Sandra, I saw your message, so I'll get you. I'll send it to you.